What the fuck is up, my britches? If you're new here, hello, my name is Brittany, and I am a Vieve stan. So they recently launched some new holiday stuff. Naturally, I picked up everything because I love almost everything that they do. So is anybody surprised? I'm sure you're not. But I am coming at you barefaced because I'm going to use a bunch of stuff today. I'm going to use some existing stuff, but mostly all the new things that I purchased. So if you guys like this video, or if you're a Vieve hoe like me, give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down. That's cool too. I do have my eyes done. Not completely done, but they are also Vieve. I was like, all right, what can I get done before I start so this isn't insanely long? But this is a live stream format, so if you're watching the playback, I would highly recommend watch it like 1.25 or 1.5. We get sidetracked. We chitty chat. Hello to all the britches in the live chat. What's good? What's poppin'? All aboard the Hot Mess Express, everybody. Let's get started because, I mean, they have a ton of shit that launched, but I love all their stuff, and I feel like they don't get enough hype. So I'm like, all right, we're just doing a full face. So that's just it. So I'm gonna start with, honestly, one of my least favorite products. But I want to show you, there's a bunch of like different gift sets. So let me run through that stuff first. If you guys didn't know, this launched, I believe, probably like 2 weeks ago now or so. So I feel like this glass skin and lip kit, that wasn't on there before. So that retails for $86, and that consists of, the first product that I'm going to use is the Vieve Skin Nova. So there's treasure tins that launched. There was liquid highlighters that launched. Some lip sets. I already have the lip set. So I'm not going to cover absolutely everything. I can let you guys know my thoughts and opinions, but we're just going to use this stuff so you guys could see. So this is what the Skin Nova looks like. It's got I just saw somebody ask, what's the consistency like? So I would say it feels almost like a gel. You're going to see my skin is going to turn red. It's because I have reactive skin, so don't mind how the skin ends up looking immediately after I apply this. It's going to give you almost just like a hydrated radiance feel to the skin. It does feel very hydrating. It's almost like a gel meets a lotion. I would say it's got more of a gel vibe versus lotion, but that's just my opinion. The only reason I say this is one of my least favorite products is because I don't feel like it does a ton for me and what I necessarily look for. But like, it's nice. It gives me that, oh, look at that. It gives me that nice like illumination to my skin. It's just like, okay, it's fine. I'm not losing my shit over it. But there is now a gift set with that product. There's, I want to say, a couple different gift sets. So let me pull those up really quick because you can also get this in different formats as well. So you've got Skin Nova retails the 30 mil, which this size right here, this was the first size that launched. This retails for $39. Vive's, I'm going to classify as a high-end luxury brand, so the prices are all definitely going to be higher. And I feel like that may be why it's not necessarily a brand that a lot of people shop from, just because they're not really familiar with it. I love Jamie Genevieve, so that was why I just dove right into the brand. Like, these hair clips are Vieve. The sweatshirt I'm wearing is Vieve. I'm telling you, I love so much about this brand. So back to the Skin Nova, you've got also now the 10 mil, which is more of like a travel size, but there's also a 100 mil, which is $86. But for a holiday, they have, I think, 2 little gift sets as well. The 10 mil is most likely where I would recommend, if you haven't tried it before, go the 10 mil. That way you could at least try it, or you could always try the gift sets. So I like the holiday because I feel like there's not many sets that they offer aside from holiday. I'm going to try to scroll to see if I can find the other one. I know we've seen this one before. It's called the Globetrotter. That retails for $39. That has the, what is that? The Skin Nova, the Skin Dew, and also the Lip Dew. That I feel is the most probably popular. That's this one right here. And then the one right next to it is the Vieve Glow Kit, which has the just bigger sizes pretty much. So you know what I would do if you've never tried, this brand before? The Globetrotter I feel is probably the best bang for your buck to at least try the brand. And I think that was the only other gift set that's the only other one that I see. So this one, I feel like it's one of those products that, like if they're doing like a gift with purchase, I feel like this one's relatively common to get thrown in as well. The fly's back. I swear. These goddamn flies. It's more expensive for us in the US. Yeah, and I think that's why, like, I haven't seen any videos on Vieve Holiday yet, which is astounding, which that's where I'm going to highly encourage you guys this round. Give this video a thumbs up because there are no videos on YouTube about Vieve Holiday. Just me. So moving on, I'm going to go to the concealer. So this one's not new. I've had this one for a while. This is the Modern Radiance Concealer. I have a dedicated playlist to Vieve, but I've had this since it launched, so I could at least give you guys some updates as well. And I still really like this concealer. It has a little bit more coverage than I personally need, so I don't need to use a lot. Like, it looks like I'm using a lot more than I actually am, but I'm going to say this is high, medium to full coverage. It's got a thicker consistency to it. So if you don't necessarily like that, or if you'd like something that's just a little bit more thin in consistency, but I love how this looks because it has that very natural skin-like finish. It almost reminds me of a slightly thicker version of the Dior Forever. And that's one of my favorite concealers. You guys know that. Fly Shadow. Kimberly still remembers Fly Shadow. Oh my God. The fucking fly. I'm like, how is that thing not dead yet? Which eye palette am I wearing? This is the 90s palette. If I had to pick a favorite palette, I honestly think I would pick this one because it's so different for my collection. Like, I still love, like, the original palette. The only one I would say is not really worth it is the Muse palette because I feel like they just don't cooperate like I want them to. So if you guys have questions along this live, feel free, leave them in the live chat, or you can leave them in the comments and I will answer after I'm finished. But I wanted this to be more useful for anybody that's been wanting to try this brand because I'm telling you, you guys know this by now, how much I love this brand, and I feel like people are still kind of warming up to trying them out. This is a brand I would love to work with one day because I'm just like, yo, I love everything. Come on. I want all the Vieve. Yes, Tracy. It's so good. Like, this eye look, it took me like 2 minutes. Literally, I started doing my makeup at fucking 8:20. So it's like you can get something like this that it looks way more elaborate than it really is. They blend super nicely. I love it. So the concealer, you guys just saw how the concealer works. I'll probably add a little bit more once I put my foundation on because I like to drag a little bit of brightness down a little bit. Let's see. I noticed you aren't using a Vieve brush. Do you think they're any good? I actually forgot to bring those over. But here's my thing. Let me grab them really quick. They're hiding back here. I just washed them the other day. That's why they're not right next to me because I was like waiting for them to dry. Here's my thing, because these are synthetics, but there's some of them, like there's certain things that I like and don't like about them. So this is technically the Conceal and Prime brush. I use this more for like spot concealing, but I don't like it more than the brush that I was just using, which is the BK 109 brush. This is my favorite concealer brush. I always come back to it. I'm going to use this one for my cream bronzer. This is the Vieve 117. This is technically the foundation brush, which this is not what I would use for a foundation brush. So it's like, I like the brushes, but I more like the eye brushes, and like this highlighter brush is one of my favorites. But the powder brushes, I'm just kind of like, they're fine. You know, like these ones right here. I use actually this one quite a bit. The 123 Precision Powder. I use this a lot for like blush, bronzer, powders. But like this one I really don't use that much. I don't really use brushes like this too often anyways, other than just like dusting stuff all over my face. I like them. And I really like the aesthetic. Oh my God, I'm dropping everything now. I really like the aesthetic of these as well. They're good brushes, but I think that there's other ones that I like better because I like the shapes of them better. Hold on, I gotta bend down and get this brush that I just dropped. Ah! Okay, let's move on to the powder, or not powder, the Modern Radiance Cream Bronzer. So this is one of the newest products I haven't tried. I got the shade medium, which I feel like I should have got the next shade darker because I do the underpainting, but I'm also going to use the 117 foundation. Just because something's called like a foundation brush doesn't mean that's what you need to use it for, okay? So this is the shade medium. I swatched all of these on my Insta story last night, so some of you probably seen what these look like already. Oh shit, okay, maybe I don't need the darker shade, so I'm just gonna throw this in my bronze area, a little higher than where I would put my contour. This is already giving me like the NARS Laguna a little bit. As far as the formula, just even touching it last night, I feel like this is a little bit more radiant, though, than the NARS. I feel like NARS leans a little bit more, I'm going to say mattifying, but it's still creamy. Okay, I like this. I like that I could dip my brush in it. Yeah, like it's working. It's working exactly like the NARS. I feel like this obviously leans a little bit more warm tone because it's technically a bronzer. So if you're anticipating it to be a contour shade, that's not going to be it. But you see how it's pigmented, but it blends out really nicely? This is just like a type of product that I like. And it could be a little bit messy because I do the underpainting. I'll throw a little bit under here, but I'll most likely do a contour somewhere. Oh, I need to put some concealer back there because... Oh, I got pimples on my face. It's so worth it, Kimberly. I completely agree. If you guys have tried Vieve before, leave your guys' thoughts in the live chat as well, because I just feel like people don't know about them. I mean, y'all should. We talk about them in like new makeup release videos and stuff, but I don't know. I don't know what else to do to try to push this brand other than tell you guys like how much I love it. And I literally spend all of my money on it because I buy everything Vieve. I'm not sponsored by them. I don't get PR from them. I buy all this shit and it's because of how much I love them. They have great quality packaging. I fucking love it. I can't wait for them to do foundations because that's the part I'm going to do next, but this is not going to be Vieve because they don't have a foundation yet. That was honestly what I was expecting it to be for holiday, was some sort of complexion, which we got complexion, but I was really hoping for a foundation. But I feel like that concealer that I used, you could use that as, you know what, let me do that today. I feel like this concealer you can use as foundation. So I'm going to add just a little bit more in the areas that I want a little bit more coverage. And then we'll just ride this out like that. Fuck it. And then it'll literally be almost a full face of Vieve. So where's my foundation brush? So like I was saying, the brush that I just used is technically the foundation brush. Good thing you said that. See, this is why I love live streams, because I would have totally forgot to use my Vieve brushes because they weren't sitting right in front of me. But I do use Vieve brushes quite a bit in my other videos. So let's just blend out this concealer. And you guys will see how it blends out to be a little bit more foundation like you see it's got coverage. It definitely has coverage, guys. I'm gonna say this is full coverage because she does have coverage. It's kind of crazy. I feel like this is one of my most natural looking full coverage concealers. I have so much of theirs in my of their stuff in my cart. She's honestly coming out with fantastic stuff, and that's what I think I love so much about this brand is I feel like they don't launch too often, and when they do launch, it's like staple products, and it's not overwhelming. Like, I feel like the holiday launch was probably their biggest collection launch that they've ever done, which it still wasn't too overwhelming, I didn't feel. So there you go. There's the concealer as being used as a foundation. It totally works fine. I like it. So now, let's go to, I feel like I had another cream product. Oh, we've got the cream blushes, duh. Okay, so the cream blushes, I can't remember if I did a dedicated video to these or not. Let me grab some real quick. So with these, I personally don't love to put these over powder. You can put them over powder, but I feel like I like them better when I put them at this step right here and then set with powder. So here's 3 of them right here. I should have pulled these out before, but I didn't think about it. Story of my life. My personal favorite of the Vieve Sunset blushes is Cherub. Mainly because I feel that it shows up the best on my skin because the other ones are fairly similar to one another. I'm actually not going to apply these today because I want to showcase the powders in their true format versus putting something underneath it first. So I do really enjoy these. I would say Rosa and Sunset are probably my top two, which is why I also picked up the Rosa powder blush. So that's those right there. I've been using them. I still really enjoy them. Do I need all of them though? No. But am I glad that I have them? Yes, because I love Vieve. So that's for those right there. What did we get next? Let me see what I got in this little box here. So I also picked up this little set right here, which I thought these were super cute. I wasn't going to get these because I was like, no, I already got them. However, this little set right here is Rosa. And I've talked about this before. I've talked about this a lot actually on TikTok because I feel like this brand started to get a little bit of hype because Michaela reviewed them. This is my favorite product from Vieve, is the powder blushes. So I was like, okay, I already got them all. But then joke was on me because Jamie said in her little masterclass that I watched that Rosa was now available in powder format. So this is a swatch of Rosa. You're not going to see like super heavy pigmentation when you apply it with your finger, but when you apply it, especially with a natural hair brush, they apply so nicely. But I wanted to focus mainly on this palette here because I feel like a lot of people were really interested in this. So this is the Dimension Face Palette. So there's, 3 blushes and 1 highlighter. And I just love these. They're so cute. Thank you, Tracy, for the super chat. Just FYI, everyone would love if you could show the shadow palettes when you get a chance. Okay, I'll show them. I'll show them probably at the end so you guys could see because I am going to finish my under eyes. So this is what the little palette looks like. So I have both of the other two right here. Okay, so I would say this is my most used one. It doesn't look like it, but it is. Like, I use this one so much because I like the bronzer shades and they also substitute as almost like a blushy shade. I mix these together a lot, but in the other palette, which is the lighter palette, I use this highlighter a lot. So I really like both. I love everything, guys. It is what it is. So if you're wondering packaging, it's the exact same size. This just has that specialty packaging on the top. It's so cute. Okay. I want to use this today. I am going to use the Vieve 123 Precision Powder. Actually, hold the phone. I didn't set my face because I got distracted. I'm going to use the Vieve Modern Powder Perfector. This one I've been saying that I've been using this a lot for topping off my loose powder, but I'm going to show you guys today how it looks if I were to just set my face with this powder. Because I feel like I really like this one for, like, so I'll go in first and I'll set my face with a loose powder. And then I'll kind of let it sit on my face. I'll even spray down my face with a setting spray. But then I'll put this powder on top as almost like a perfecting powder. Oh, I broke it. Oh, no. I must have dropped it. Son of a bitch. Oh, let's see. I don't know why I don't like the highlighter together with a blush palette. See, I love it. I love it because it's just there. And it's like if the palette is out, I might as well just use that. I feel like with holiday too especially, it's just like a thing. Like everybody loves the cheek palettes. So like I see why these brands do it. And I like the variety that this one has. So there is the face completely set with the, what is this called? The Modern Powder Perfector. This is another one. It's just like, it's fine, but I prefer it as more of a over-the-top powder. I want to see a loose powder from Vieve because I personally like loose powder. Now moving back to this palette right here. This is why I like this because like the undertone of the blushes, you have 3 blushes and they're all completely different. I feel like these two are kind of in like the same color family a little bit, but then you get that bright pink. Let me swatch them so you can see what they look like. So this one right here, the one on my middle finger, this gives me Becca Songbird. It's not the exact same by any means, but I love blushes that have that like burnt. This one doesn't really have terracotta, but it's almost like a sunburn. I fucking love that look. It's one of my favorite blush looks that I could get, and this is the bright pink one. What's the bright? What is it? Blush Bold. And then you've got Blush and then Blush Intense. So let me give you guys Blush Bold. At least I think that's how they're named. When you swatch them, you're like, okay, it's a blush. Like, there's nothing special about it. It's when you apply it on the face is where it comes through. And then this highlighter. So I feel like Vieve highlighters are insanely underrated anyways. But when you swatch it and put it on the face, it's so pretty. It will accentuate a little bit of texture, but I feel like a lot of people were saying, at least this is what my DM said when I posted all these swatches on my page or on my Instagram. A lot of people were saying that they thought the highlight would be too light or too dark, but it's not. At least for my complexion. So I want to do this blush. Be careful. Because, like I said, when you like pick it up on your finger, it's not going to be super intense. But when you apply it to your face, like these blushes don't fuck around. They're pigmented. They have a skin-like finish to them. They lean, I'm going to say, a little bit more matte. But they have this gorgeous skin-like sheen to them. And that's what I love so much about them. And I feel like this would be a palette I would just like to mix a lot of these shades together, but I could still use them individually. So that is, I think that one is Blush Intense. Super cute. All right, now let me dust off my brush. I'm going to use this one first on the other side. Do you see how pigmented? And then I want to see what this one looks like, because I feel like this shade and Rosa might be a little bit similar. I'm going to have to use Rosa in probably another video just so you guys could see that by itself. But I feel like this is probably going to be something similar to Rosa. Very light, similar vibe to this one, just obviously lighter. So now I'd be like, okay, this isn't giving it to me. I want something that's a little bit more. This is where I would go in with the bright pink. Dust it off. You don't have to dust it off if you don't want to, but I would suggest it just because of how pigmented these will apply. You see that sheen that it has right there? That's what I'm talking about. And I like that this shade, it's got like that almost like Barbie pink vibe that is super trendy right now. Except, I feel like you can see that sheen really nicely right there. Except with this one, I feel like it's got a little bit like purpliness to it. But here is where I'm like, I don't love this brush. Like, I like it, but I don't love it. Rosa is pinkier. Okay, I'll have to put them side by side to one another and see what they actually look like side by side. But I feel like with this brush, because of like how it sits on my face, I think, it doesn't apply my powders exactly how I want it to. I don't know. I feel like the shapes need a little bit of work for the face brushes. I really like the eye brushes. It's the face brushes that I'm just like, all right, I'm not completely sold. And I feel like Refer, BK Beauty, they just have the best shapes for their brushes. So that's what I compare everything to. So it's not that I hate it. I want to see them do more brushes, but they're nice brushes. There we go. So now this is what the pink one looks like. I personally like this better, but that's just me. It depends on the look that I'm going for. Now I'm going to do some highlight. So let's take this highlight right here. I love this brush. It's so different than anything that I have in my collection. I'm only going to do this powder highlight on one side because there's another new product that I want to use on the other side. Oh, fuck. Oh, let's see. Tracy asked, how is the shipping when ordering from the Vieve website now? I got mine. I actually feel faster than I typically do. So I feel like anytime I order from Vieve, I always anticipate at least like 2 weeks shipping. So I'll actually, like when I place my order, almost like 2 weeks from that day is when I'll receive it. But this one, I feel like I got it within like a week. It seemed like it was a lot faster this time around, so I was not mad at that. So that is the powder highlight in this new palette right here. If you've been wanting to try the formulas, I feel like this will give you an idea of what these are like, but I still feel like these are a little bit better. I don't know. There's just something about the blushes that I feel like are different. Whereas the powder highlight, I feel like this is what, like the original highlighters, because I have the individuals as well. I feel like this is a realistic expectation to the full size of highlighters. It's just something about the blushes that I don't feel are exactly the same, but it gives off a similar vibe. Like, it gives you that skin-like sheen, like I was saying. So this is another, like, good way to try it if you've been wanting to try it, because who's going to realistically use a full-size blush? If I had to recommend a blush that is my most used, my absolute favorite, it's going to be Cherub. And also, what the hell's the name of it? Cherub is this one. This is the pink one. It's like pink, but it's got a little bit of fuchsia. Super pretty. It gives you almost that, like, pinky sunburnt skin that I love. But also, like, Piazza is super unique. Like, this for fall, are you fucking kidding me? I think maybe that's what I like so much about the individual ones is, like, the shades are just so different. That was Sorbet. And then we have Malbec. This is the most recent one that I got, aside from Rosa. But another really beautiful fall blush. Not mad at it. I love these. I love the face palettes usually, but I do feel I gravitate more towards these versus the face palettes, but I think it's mainly because I'm more familiar with them because I've had them for longer. So that's another thing to consider when, you know, you're shopping for certain stuff. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put Rosa on, like, my nose. I could regret doing this, but I feel like this is, like, a trend now. So I'm going to wipe off my brush a little bit. I didn't even know. Damn, even the highlighter looks gorge. Yes. This highlight formula is beautiful. So let me take a little bit of Rosa, and I'm just going to dust this over the top of my nose. Oh, man, that was such a bad idea. Let me blend it out a little bit. But I feel like this is, like, something that so many people do now. Okay. It's not as bad as it was, but fuck. Why did I think that was a good idea? All right, so I wanted to compare this, though, because, like, what's on my nose, I can fix it after. The shade that's on my nose, I feel like, is more orangey toned than what's in the face palette. I feel like this leans a little bit more almost like red, maybe, whereas I feel like I'm seeing a lot of orange with that. So let's fix that, because that was a bad idea. I've never ordered from them, just the Vieve website. People have asked me quite a few times, like, if I've ever ordered from Cult Beauty. I linked below everything that I'm using today, but I also linked below other retailers, because I know not everybody wants to shop from Vieve, even though I would strongly recommend it, because I've never had a bad experience from Vieve. But they're also available now at Harrods. So if you're, I believe, in the UK, that might be a better option. But look, boom, fix your fuck up. Throw concealer on top and you're good to go. Okay, so moving on. In this also treasure kit is the Rosa Lip Dew, which I have one open already, I think, somewhere. Oh my god, I should have been more prepared for this. Whatever, I'll use it. Because this is a lip dew that lives in my purse. So let me show you what this shade looks like. I might have a hard time getting this out of this because of my nails, but let's try it. I love these little tins too. I'll most likely take the products out of the tin and just keep the tin as like a decorative piece or something. So I just want to show you this now so you can see how, you know, the treasure kit looks in the shade Rosa. It's almost like a Your Lips But Better for me. The lip dew smells so fucking good though. Oh, so good. But if I had to pick a favorite lip dew, I think I would pick Original. But it gives you a little bit of color. It's more sheer though. But it's so juicy and it smells delightful. So that is the Rosa Lip Dew. Again, this is something that just lives in my purse. There's the shade for you. The Sunburnt Rose might conflict with my full glam, at least on me. I could definitely see where that makes sense, because sometimes the blush throws off the whole vibe. Might be the stuff left on the brush. Maybe. But before I dip it into my product, I usually dust it off, just so I don't have that overlap. Are you guys enjoying yourselves? Don't forget to like the video, because there's 77 of you watching, and there's only 49 thumbs ups. Guys, get it together. But isn't this so cute? Like, this is going to go back on there probably. I don't know. We're still very much figuring out how I'm going to set this whole situation up in here. So, moving on. We have the Nova Glow Liquid Illuminator. Or Liquid Highlight. Liquid Light. Whatever the fuck you want to call this. So, we were speculating in new makeup releases a few weeks ago that this was going to be something that's reminiscent to Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. I'm going to say, I haven't swatched these side by side yet, but this is the packaging. Love the packaging. It's got a doe foot applicator. It's the same packaging, except a frosted component. It's very similar to the concealer packaging. So if you're familiar with that, that's what to expect, except this is frosted. I wasn't prepared for how fucking gorgeous this is. But when I swatch it like this, I'm like, that looks so much like Hollywood Flawless Filter. But when you blend it out, I feel like it has more of a highlighter effect versus, I feel like with the Flawless Filter, it gives you that filtered look, but it's not as illuminating as this is. So I'm going to swatch it side by side just so you guys could see. But like when I swatch it like that, I'm like, oh my God, that's so gorgeous. What a beautiful liquid highlight. But let me pull out, this is the shade Holy Chic. And for the Hollywood Flawless Filter, I have the shade number 3 Light Warm. So I'm going to give you a swatch. Yeah, I feel like the Charlotte Tilbury, it's so much more subtle. Like, see how there's not really a bright shine? Like, so you got Charlotte Tilbury here, and then the Vieve right next to it. You definitely get more reflection with the Vieve. Now let me swatch the Hollywood Flawless Filter next to the other part and blend this out. Because I feel like even though they're not exactly the same, they kind of give off like a similar vibe a little bit. Like even the brand in general, I feel like that's probably one thing that I really like about Vieve is it reminds me of Charlotte Tilbury, because Charlotte Tilbury is another one of my favorite brands. So right here we have the Hollywood Flawless Filter, and then right here is the Vieve. I'm noticing way more highlight with the Vieve. That fucking fly, man. It's like, let me get some showtime. I see the filter effect way more with the Charlotte Tilbury. Yeah, it's way more subtle. The Vieve has a little bit more, but I feel like you could probably still use it for a similar effect, but you could also enhance things that you don't want to because it has more of that reflect to it. So I'm going to put it on the opposite side. I'm going to put it over here. I already know this is going to look beautiful. And let me use my 109. This is like my favorite brush ever. I love this brush. And then we'll just blend it out. Let me see if it disturbs anything. It's not separating. And it will dry down as well. It's not going to give you that dewy, wet finish like the Skin do. But when you blend it out, like, it's not super high shine. Like, I feel like I'm getting more of a reflect with the powder, which I wasn't expecting. I was kind of expecting this to give more. So this is actually more subtle than I thought. And then you could put the powder highlight on top if you want something a little bit more. Okay, that's cute. I like the fact that it dries down, because that's one thing about the Skin do. Like, I love the Skin do, but because it doesn't dry down and it has that, like, dewy, tacky feel to it, I feel like that's a turnoff for a lot of people, and I don't wear it as much because I don't want my hair to, like, stick to it or anything. This is pretty. Like, it's very natural, super pretty. But now I want to see what it looks like putting that powder on the top, because why not? More is more. More is more. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that looks pretty? Is it not enough? Is it too much? I don't know. I feel like I need to try that as like a primer, how I use the Hollywood Flawless filter. Because I feel like it might give a similar vibe. And then this is with the powder on top. Yeah, I could get down with that. This is my good side, so I always like how this side looks better. This I'm just like... Okay, so those are beautiful. Yeah, I expected that to be like, boom! But it's not. It's more toned down than I thought, so I like that. As it's sitting on my skin, still looking beautiful. Oh, yeah, like makeup porn. So pretty, right? Now do you guys see why I like Vieve so much? This is why, right here. Okay, next we have the Modern Mascara. I'm not somebody that is super critical about mascaras because I'm going to put lashes on anyways. But I want you guys to see what this looks like without doing anything to my lashes. It does feel like it might have a little bit more of a wet formula, which I don't usually like. And the reason I say that is because when I pull it out of the packaging, you know how usually you have like a shit ton of excess product at the top? It doesn't have that. It almost seems like the mascara wand is drier because like it seems like the product is actually on the bristles and that's it, not super coated. So it made me think maybe it's just a thinner formula. I'm not really sure. But I look at this and I'm like, it's a mascara. It's got that like traditional hourglass style wand. If I can get the bottom lashes, that'll be the true test. But it feels to me like on my eye, it feels like it's just combing through my lashes really nice and really finely. But I'm not noticing it to be like super black. Like it's a mascara. That is overall that's overall the feedback that I'm getting just as I don't know. Mascara is hard to explain because I watch some people and they'll be so critical about mascara and I'm just like, it applies to my lashes. It's not getting all over the place, but I haven't worn this for an extended period of time either. But I do like that it's not building up to be super spidery and clumpy. If anything, I still feel like it looks really thin on my lashes. Give it 2 weeks, it'll be perfect. Yeah, I feel like that's a lot of the time with mascaras that when you let them sit, it's like they get better with time. It's like men. They get better with age. It's unfair. But I feel like mascara is the same way. It just gets better with age. But getting my bottom lashes, I'm not getting it all over. See, I'm really liking this because it's just easy. Like, I always feel like I get mascara on like the top of my lid or underneath my eye. And I'll still get it, but for how big this wand is, I'm really not getting it all over. And I feel like that's because it doesn't have so much product on it. I love when the mascara has a good scraper on the top. Too goopy is bad. I'd rather build. And I feel like this is what that's giving is it's a very buildable formula. It's a mascara, okay? It's got nice packaging. I really like it. It's a brand that I love. It's weighty. Like, this is good quality packaging, so naturally, I'm here for it. So I'm going to let that dry down, and then I'm going to move on to my lips, because this one, I was so excited about these. These are the Satin Slip Lipsticks. I want to grab my lip liner. I have one that I'm looking for because the shade Brat is my favorite. I use it all the damn time. And Brat, this is the one that is in the holiday set. So there's the lipstick and lip liner. They're the exact same shade. And it's just perfect for my lips. Kind of gives a your lips but better. But it's got a little bit of brown in it. So it makes it a little bit more, I'm going to say neutral. It's just like a, how do I want to say it? Like a brownie, pinky nude. Something that I really like. So you can see, like, you could barely tell that I have it on, right? So wait till you see this fucking lip, because styling your lipstick. Wait till you see this. That sounds like a beautiful satin slip lipstick. First of all, this packaging, I love it. It's so sleek. It's sophisticated, but look. ASMR moment. We love a magnetic closure over here. So, this is the shade Silk Sheets. And I already know I'm going to love this. Oh, thank you, Nancy. So, it's going to be something that you need to build up a bit more. I feel something like rattling in here, though. It's almost like it feels like this is going to come out. Oh, no, maybe it's just the lipstick is a little bit thinner than the packaging. This will be a lip product that I love because this is just what I like. I love a satin finish that gives your lips that juiciness. But you just might have to build it up a little bit more. But I love it. It's something that you could just like apply without even looking. Yeah. I'm all about this life. Like, this is going to be one that, yeah, I just want to have them all. And I really like this packaging, too. I think it's super cute. It's not anything super, like, bougie or over the top. It's just a nice, like, purse lipstick. I like it. I think the shade is really pretty. It leans a little bit more, I'm going to say brown than I expected. Let me give you guys a swatch just so you could see what it looks like without having my lip color underneath it. See how different it looks on my lips versus a swatch? On my lips, I feel like it looks more nude, but on my hand, it looks more pink. So that's where, you know, your lip color does make a difference sometimes, even if you're having to build it. It's so comfortable, though. Yeah, I like this. People say don't buy makeup for the packaging. I say how? Yeah, Nancy, like, how dare they say that? How are you going to tell me how to live my life? That's a firm negative. We buying for packaging. Packaging is, to me, like one of the most important things with cosmetics. But not everybody's like that. So, now we have the lip dews. So, this is the newest one. I got a free one of the original, which I was so happy about that because I love the original one. It's super sparkly and reflective. But the shade Cherry. It looks very intimidating because it's dark. But when you swatch it, it's not nearly as pigmented because they're more sheer. So this is what Cherry looks like. So cute. And now, not that I think that this really needed any more juice, but we're here, so we're doing it. Oh, they smell so good. It's one of my favorite things about these lip dews is the smell. Like, they just smell like cupcakes. Look how pretty that is, though. Ooh. Like, this lip with that cheek. It's so cute. I'm spending my money. It better be cute. Completely agree. Completely agree with you there. So, that was it for the lip dew. A product I really love. I own them all. I feel like that alone speaks for itself. All right, now let's go back to the 90s palette because she's glorious. She's beautiful. She's gray. She's Miss United States. So what I used today was Soot. I'm going to put this on my outer corner and then slightly drag it in just a wee bit because I want to connect the two. I love the undertones of this palette. Even though I love the first palette, I feel like I grabbed for this one more because it's so different from my collection. I feel like I've said that already in this video, but just really want to reiterate that because I still love both of them. It's a hard one because you're like, I don't want to pick between my favorites. Now let's take 93. And then I'm going to run this. This is a shade you want to be careful because it could make you look like you have a black eye. Because it's got almost like that cherry cola borderline bruise look to it. I wore this for Halloween last year too. When I did Beetlejuice. Because I wanted myself to almost look like my eyes a little bit hollowed out. It's just such a good palette, especially for cool tones. Because I really don't have a lot of cool tone palettes. Because realistically, I don't think cool tone palettes release all that often. But this is one of my favorites. And then I'm going to take an even fluffier brush. I'm using all the rougher brushes. Because that's personally what I prefer. Even though I love the Vieve brushes, you know what? If I have to pick a favorite Vieve brush for the eyes, it's this one right here. It's the 225 Precise Eyeshadow Packer. Let me use one of these Vieve brushes just so you can see. Like, they're good, but I always gravitate for my rougher because I feel like natural hair just works better for my eyes because I don't get that, like, skippiness, and it doesn't tug on my eyes as much as synthetic hair. Even like BK Beauty, even though I love them, I don't use them as much anymore on my eyes. I primarily use Refer, Esum, but this is a good one. Let's do Dial Up on the inner corner. I just think the shape of this one is really unique. Another one that it would be like a workhorse of a brush because it's very multi-purpose. Like I feel like you could just do everything that I was doing with it. You could do your inner corner, brow bone. You could even do your lips if you really wanted to. There is a lip brush as well. Oh, so good. Beautiful palette. Miss America. She's beautiful. She's Grace. She's Miss United States. Okay, that's cute. And then one more. There's a guy that comes into my bar all the time. He's always like, one more for the boys. One more for the boys right here. It cracks me up every time. Just blend that together. And bam. That would be it for my eye look right there. Except minus lashes. But I love it. How do you not like this palette? That's the question. That's an inner corner. Damn. I know. It's so fucking good. I want to blend this out just a little bit more. I like to blend my under eye rather low because I like it to cover up my eye wrinkles. And then just the smokier the better. But here's the thing. If you've never tried Vieve eyeshadows before, the mattes are definitely insanely pigmented. They blend out beautifully. They're gorgeous. This, you know what this reminds me of? Americano from Makeup Geek. But I feel like if you're expecting a typical metallic eyeshadow with these types of shades right here, you're not going to get that. They're definitely more on like the shimmer spectrum, I would say. But if you're looking for something that is almost like, how do I want to explain it? Because it's like they're beautiful, but you see how it's more of just a shimmer versus it doesn't really have that super intense high shine. It's almost like what I say about luxury palettes is I feel like they're more ideal for people that have texture or like lines on your lids or stuff, because when you have super metallic eyeshadows, it draws more attention to those or it can accentuate it. Whereas with something like this, like it has the sparkle, but it's not going to have that really intense shine. It's going to look more flattering. That's why I think that I like these so much, is because it's got like a little bit of it, but I feel like it's more approachable and it's not so over the top. And it still gives a very beautiful, effortless sort of a look, but you could build it up to obviously be something more intense like I'm wearing today. So this is the 90s palette like I was talking about earlier. That's the one I used today. But there are two other palettes, one of which is the Muse palette, which I was the most excited about this one. And I have tried so hard to love this. Are we kidding me? I've tried so hard to love this. No, it's not Chunky Tracy. But I can't get down with this one, and I can't figure out why. It's like, every look ends up looking the same because once you apply these shades to your lids, they all just kind of blend together. I don't know. It's so bizarre to me because I was hyped when this launched. But you'll see the same types of finishes are in this. It's wow, if I could talk, that would be great. You're seeing the same types of format where you've got the 3 more like shimmer shades and then everything else is primarily matte. Same thing with, I feel, the original palette. So this is the Essentials palette. It's got the basic packaging, but this bitch is a powerhouse. One of these days I won't have flies in here. I need to put fly papers back up because I thought the flies would be gone by now, but apparently not. So this, again, primarily matte. You've got the 3 shimmers. This I could also use as a highlight. Yes, Nancy said. Exactly. It's a sophisticated formula with an elegant finish versus your face. I'm over here. Yeah, completely agree. It's that look that makes someone notice you first due to the put together look. Completely agree. So this palette right here, if I freelanced, I would have this in my kit because I feel like this is what I always gravitate towards. But I feel like if you're wanting something really different that is unlike a lot of witches on the market, this would be the palette to go for. Like, just look at how different this looks. But it's so good. Like, this just makes my soul happy. It's such a fucking vibe. So pretty. And I love the shades in this. It's just a true cool tone palette, and I live for it. So that is me being on my Vieve soapbox for so long. And let's appreciate this packaging too real quick. So good. So let me know if you guys have any questions or if you're curious about anything else. But this is the look that we're going to go with today. Beautiful. Effortless. I'm really happy with everything that I picked up as I expected. I always expect to love everything that I get. I have yet to have like a complete dud where I'm like, this is absolute trash. I've had my products where I'm like, okay, it's not my favorite, but I could still appreciate the brand as a whole because I feel like they're consistent. I feel like they're just creating products that are solid staples. And again, it just comes down to like sometimes you just gravitate towards certain brands, and Vieve is one of those brands for me. I would absolutely love to work with them one day as far as being like an affiliate or having like a discount code for you guys or something because I love all of their stuff. Love it. And I feel like the fact that I've bought in everything myself, that speaks for itself as well. So I'm looking to see if you guys have any questions in the comments. For people who have texture in their eyes, like I like Vieve. There's a smoothness to the formula that hides the texture rather than accentuating it. And I completely agree. Like, whenever I use certain, like, high shine reflective eyeshadows, I could immediately see, especially since I have hooded eyes, I feel like I always notice the lines in my eyes. But with this look, I ain't noticing shit. Let me pop on. Do I have any lashes readily available right here? No, I think I left them upstairs. I was going to pop on some lashes so you could see, like, a completed look, but I think this is the best we're going to get today. I would love to see, obviously, like, a full range of complexion, like, foundations come for Vieve. I would love to see loose powders. Whatever Vieve launches, I'm going to fucking buy it because that's just where I'm at. So if you guys have any questions, just leave them in the comment section of this video. I hope this was helpful, useful. I love Vieve. And I may be biased, but it's fine. So I will have everything linked in the description box below if you're interested in purchasing anything. I would love that if you wanted to support my channel. And stay tuned for future videos. Turn on your post notifications so you're notified when I go live. And I hope to see you guys in my next one. Bye!